Hi guys, in this video, we will discuss a film that shows a husband's struggle to find his wife, who is being kidnapped. What was his struggle like? Without further ado, let's get straight to the storyline. This husband and wife are named Wild and Lisa. That afternoon, Will was taking Lisa to her parents' house. Lisa plans to move to her parents' house temporarily, because their household relationship is strained, even at the end of the divorce. Lisa hopes that during their separation they can reflect on each other's mistakes, before making a decision about the fate of their future marriage. On the way, Will stops at a gas station. When Will was refueling, Lisa asked permission to go to the bathroom. At first, everything was fine, nothing was suspicious. But after Will finished and waited long enough, he started to get confused about why his wife hadn't come back yet. Will frantically checks the toilet, then asks people if they see a woman wearing a white shirt around here. Unfortunately, no one saw Lisa. Will, who was desperate, decided to call the police. Hearing Will's report, the chief of police, named Peterson, told him to stay there and don't go anywhere until he came. Finished calling, because too worried Will go to Lisa's parents' house. Lisa's parents are confused about why Will only came alone. Then she recounted the incident at the gas station. At first, his parents-in-law thought Will was lying. But after being explained at length, they also believed and would help find Lisa. Will then head back to the gas station. Not long after, Peterson came and immediately met the cashier of the mini-market next to the gas station, named Oscar, to ask for CCTV footage. But Oscar explains that all the CCTVs have long since died, having no other leads. Peterson tells Will to stay while he goes to the police station to make a missing persons report. Will noticed a mini-market CCTV camera when Peterson left. Will, who feels lied to, is angry.
Get the motherfucker! Okay!
Will rushes to the police station to meet Peterson. The two of them then saw the recording together. In the recording, it was seen that Lisa had just left the convenience store and was called by a foreign man right when she approached the man. A truck drives by, obscuring the CCTV. Now Will is sure his wife must have been kidnapped. Peterson tries to calm Will down and leads him into the interrogation room. There he asked a lot of questions, ranging from the usual ones like, you know the man on the CCTV just now? And, did Will love Lisa, to the strange question of whether Lisa had life insurance. Hearing the question, Will realized that Peterson was suspecting him. With emotion, Will said that if Peterson not wanted to help find the man in the earlier recording, he would be the one to look for him. Will then went to see Lisa's parents again, and without further ado, he immediately showed them the photo of the man in the recording and asked if they both knew this man. After seeing the photo, Lisa's mother was shocked. She told him that the man was her gardener, Knuckles. Even though Lisa also knew her mother was sure that her child would not want to go, without telling Will unless he was forced to. Will was even more panicked, after he got the address of the Knuckles house. Will rushed away, and when he got there, he saw Knuckles tidying things up. Without thinking, he immediately attacked. Will's continue to beat Knuckles. He will not stop until Knuckles confesses that he has kidnapped Lisa, because he can't take it anymore. Knuckles finally admits that he did take Lisa away, but he wasn't the one who kidnapped her. All of this is the plan of a friend who is a drug dealer named Frank. Knuckles promised to tell them the address of Frank's headquarters as long as Will stops hitting him. Will then tied up Knuckles and put them in the trunk of the car, just in case he took a gun from inside the Knockles house. Will then went to Frank's headquarters. He received a police ticket in the middle of the road for driving too fast. Will was there. Trying to remain calm, his movements only made the police suspicious. The police ordered him to open the trunk of the car. Hearing that order, Will was silent. When the police were off guard, Will immediately ran away. On the other hand, when Peterson tried to check the gas station convenience store, unfortunately, Oscar's working hours had already ended an hour ago. Peterson also went to Lisa's parents' house. When he asked how Lisa and Will's relationship had been lately, Lisa's mother said that the relationship between the two of them was strained because a few weeks earlier Lisa had been caught having an affair. From this news, Peterson became increasingly suspicious of Will. When he returned to the office, he got a call from the traffic police, who had ticketed Will earlier. Yes, he was informed that Will was holding someone hostage in the trunk of his car. Peterson immediately went to the crime scene. Meanwhile, Will chose to continue his journey on foot, and as he neared his destination, he was chased away by a guard man. Fortunately, after explaining that the chemical who sent him here was attempting to convey an important message to Frank, Will was allowed to pass. When he got there, Will secretly looked for a person named Frank. In the middle of reconnaissance, he was caught by one of Frank's men, but Will managed to paralyze him. Suddenly, a car came. It turned out to be Oscar. Now that it's clear why Oscar lied about the CCTV at the gas station earlier, he must also be involved in Lisa's kidnapping. Will then take Frank's men's guns. In the middle of the search, Frank's men are seen busy making drugs. When they see Frank, Will rush to hide. Frank and his men gather in front of a room, and Will is sure that is where Lisa is being held captive. When Frank is left alone with one of his men, Will musters up the courage and immediately points a gun while asking where Lisa is. Will promises that if Frank wants to free his wife, he will keep his mouth shut and will not report drug dealing here to the police. He is also willing to pay as much ransom as Frank asks, but Frank still won't admit it. He explains that his business has only been making drugs, not kidnapping women, because he doesn't believe Will then orders the room to be opened in front of him. Right when the door is opened, Frank's men grabs a gun, but Will manages to shoot him first. Will accidentally shoots Frank dead. He is very frustrated that the only clue to find his wife has now disappeared, but Will doesn't want to give up. He has to keep looking for Lisa's whereabouts. When Will leaves, unknowingly as a result of the shootout earlier, a fire starts to appear in a place full of chemicals. Because he had finished off the head of the drug dealer, Will felt that he was no longer afraid of anyone, and while pointing a gun, he chased away all of Frank's men who were still there. Then he continued to look for Lisa in every corner. On the other hand, when Peterson arrived at the crime scene, Peterson interrogated Kennecke and asked if Will had kidnapped Lisa out of revenge, but he explained that Will had nothing to do with it. A few months ago, when he was drunk, Kennecke and Frank, he devised a plan to kidnap Lisa, the daughter of his employer, in order to get a big ransom. So yesterday, Lisa's parents told her that their child would be staying at home. Kennecke started to carry out the plan. At the petrol station, he met Lisa, who was pretending to be told by his parents to pick him up, then kidnapped and took him to Frank's headquarters. Peterson was surprised to hear this confession. It turned out that his suspicions about Will had been wrong all this time, and meanwhile, it was time to go back and check with him. In the warehouse where Frank died, Will meets Oscar by chance. Oscar is there offering a deal. He will tell where Lisa is as long as he will pay a ransom of $20,000. Oscar also shows Lisa's cell phone as proof. Will becomes enraged when he sees the cell phone and orders Oscar to tell him where Lisa is currently being held. Not long after, the police and the fire department arrived, and Oscar died as a result of the explosion. Peterson then approached Will and said that, legally, Will had committed a crime by locking people in the trunk, but that, personally, Peterson understood, Will had done all of that just to find his wife. Peterson actually thanked Will. The police succeeded in dismantling the old drug lord's headquarters they were looking for. Peterson was there asking Will to sit quietly while he and other police officers helped explore this place to look for Lisa. While he was anxiously waiting, Will seemed to hear a sound coming from a small warehouse, so he hurriedly opened the place. After dropping Lisa home, Peterson came in front of his house. Peterson said that he had examined the corpses of Frank and his men, and judging from the condition of the bodies he knew before they were burnt by the explosion, Will have shot them dead first. Hearing that Will was silent, Peterson chose to pretend not to know, then left. When Lisa came out, she held her husband's hand tightly, very tightly. He then invited her in home. The movie has a happy ending. So I thank you for watching. Please like the video if you like it, please dislike it if you don't, dislike it if you don't.
Bye.
For now, and see you in the next storyline.